So far in this course, we've been dealing a lot with documentary, non-narrative style footage and editing it together, which is really different than editing a narrative such as a film or even a commercial that has a narrative style shoot. So I want to teach you and talk a little bit more about how do you edit together shots from a scene. And I'm going to be using this commercial as an example. This is a commercial that I edited and did graphics for, and this was for a friend's company. So first, let's watch through the commercial. Then I'm going to talk through making some of the edits, and then I'll show you exactly how I go about making an edit between two different shots of the same scene. But let's go through and watch. And I actually have a quick tip for you. If you want a full screen preview of your program monitor on a Mac, press Control tilde key. If you're on a PC, it's going to be the Windows tilde key, I bet. The tilde key itself will just bring it kind of full screen like this, but the Control tilde key, it's the key to the left of the number 1 on your keyboard, makes it full screen like this. So let's go ahead and watch through it, and you can listen to it too.
Oh, there it is. The problem of the day. Say goodbye to your day off, and say hello to hours wasted on internet tutorials. Or giving all your money to this guy. Shouldn't there be a better way? We thought so. Welcome to Face-to-Face DIY, the very first app that puts the power of a pro in your hands. It's easy. Sign in, select the appliance you're working on, choose the amount of time you'd like, and you'll be connected to a trained technician through a live video call to walk you through the steps needed to repair your appliance yourself. So say goodbye to this guy and to all those wasted hours, and say hello to victory and taking back your day. Don't worry, we can help with that too. Welcome to a better life. Welcome to Face-to-Face DIY. Hi.
Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that commercial. It was a very low budget commercial, but we tried to get a more professional feel. All the sound effects were really actually free sound effects that I found online. The coloring was done by myself. We had a buddy shoot the film and a buddy act in the film as well, or in this commercial. The graphics that you see here, this was all done right within After Effects, and that's something that I did too. So if you're interested in After Effects, you can do this kind of thing with screens and the buttons and the motion of, that screen little popping out like that. So anyways, talking about the edit though, with editing between two shots, here are the types of shots I'm talking about. See this first cut from him eating breakfast to the washing machine, which this is a little bit of movie magic because this washing machine isn't even in this room. This is in a completely different part of the house. And then we have these few shots of his wife coming in and then the close up to her face. And this is one of those shots where we did a lot of takes, and while you're shooting, you have to be very aware of what's she doing with her hands, what's he doing with his hands, what's she doing with her face, because actually there weren't that many close-ups where her face looked exactly alike, and this was the closest one. Also, she's moving. See, I'm just going to go frame by frame. You can see that she's stepping into place, so we had to cut right when she kind of stops moving, and then in this shot, she's like just settling into her spot too, moving just a little bit. And that's something that you can do while you're editing. Sometimes cutting on motion makes the edit seem more fluid. As editors, what we're trying to do is to be invisible, really. You don't want people noticing, oh, that was a strange cut, or oh, there was a cut there. You want it to be fluid. And so if that looked fluid to you, then that's achieving my goal. Some of these other shots, it's not cutting from one A camera to B camera in the same scene. Another example of this is at the end where he finishes fixing the washing machine. We cut to him walking away out of that shot into this shot. Again, movie magic, just a completely different part of that scene. And then there's a close-up. And then it cuts back to the wide.
Don't worry.
And then we actually cut to the close-up again. And that's a jump cut. You can see that he's there. He's going towards his phone. And then he's automatically has it. That's a complete jump cut. But we had to get this commercial down to under a minute, 15 seconds or so. And so that's sometimes you have to do that. You have to do jump cuts to cut down time, but you got to make it look natural without it feeling like, oh, well, he was there without the phone and now he has the phone. But because he's moving this way, and you can kind of see what he's doing. He's moving and then he moves back in that shot. He's out of the shot. It works. If he was in the shot already without coming in right here, it wouldn't work as well. And then we cut back to the wide shot, and it works perfectly. It looks like she just took the phone, looking at it. Again, the movement's not perfect. His hand motion is right there. It's coming down, crossing his arms. It's coming down, and he doesn't cross his arms in that shot. See that? But if you're watching it play through at real speed, it's something that you don't really notice too much.
Don't worry.
And this shot, in the whole shot, actually, I cut down a lot. It was a lot longer, and I'm going to show you that. So let's look at that and how I would actually edit this scene. So I've skipped a couple steps, but basically what I do is I bring down shot A on one time track in the timeline, and then I bring shot B on the next track on the timeline. And so then I find where I want to go in the beginning of this shot. So we're coming out where he's already in frame, kind of wiping off his hands. So I'm going to edit this, just hovering over here on the left side, pressing Command to get my little editor right there. So that jump cuts everything to the left. And then they look to the left. So I think I'm going to cut right after they look to the left. I'm not going to do it before. I can show you what it looks like before. So it would be right about here. So I'm just going to trim this over here like so. And then I just kind of match it up. So I move this to the left and then I play through it. That was a little bit too quick. So what I'll do is just nudge to the right just a little bit, and what I'm doing is just selecting this clip and pressing Command right arrow on my keyboard. If I zoom in here, you can see better what I'm doing. Nudging to the right, just frame at a time. Okay, that's a little bit too much. They already start to look over, so we want it to go right about there, so I can just drag this over to the left. Interesting, but it's a little bit weird, and then they have this kind of weird pause. I like this reaction better. See that reaction to the noise that's happening? So I'm actually going to cut right into there. So I'm just going to cut out the first part of this, but I'm going to cut right into there right after they look. So they look, beat meaning just like a little pause, look, beat. And then with sound effects, we can make it sound better and feel better because there's going to be sounds that cause these reactions from them. So that little stutter. And then maybe even we'll come in a little bit later to this reaction. I like that reaction even better. So I'm just going to, again, just use my Command Trim tool. Maybe just a little bit more. Something like that's pretty good. And then I would cut out of this right away. Back to the next shot. But we're going to cut this last shot just a little bit shorter so that right when he's about to push his wife towards whatever's happening over there. We're going to trim that, bring it back over here. And we'll just shorten this just a bit. You can see that it's a lot of nudging. It's a lot of practicing. So with the final shot, with sound, let's listen to it.
And taking back your day.
So lots of stuff going on in the background, the crashes that are causing these reactions. This wasn't something that we recorded on set. It's all done in editing. So that's a little bit more information about how I would edit a narrative film. How do you match together shots, the practicality of laying them onto different tracks and nudging them around. If you have other questions about this, please let me know. I've edited a lot of narrative films, short films, commercials. Documentary is my specialty, and that's what I think a lot of people are using Premiere Pro for. So that's why I geared this course for sort of non-narrative filmmakers. But I would love to help those of you out who are wanting to make more narrative films. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in another lesson.